Hello everyone, welcome to Crash Talks. So in this episode, we are crashing with Ricky and with Tauqeer. So let's welcome Ricky up here. So Ricky, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Currently I'm a web developer at Trilitech. So Trilitech is a engineering company for building blockchain, Tezos blockchain particularly. And a bit of myself. I'm from Taiwan and came to UK in 2020, and then doing my master degree there in Nottingham and in computer science. But for my undergrad, I'm not a computer science major. I was doing sociology, so it's kind of huge gap for me. But I think overall the journey so far is good. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So actually, we have another co-host with us too, which is Tauqeer. So Tauqeer, could you please introduce yourself too?
Hey everyone, I'm Tauqeer Ahmad. I do work as a developer relations engineer at Tezos from the India region. So that's all my job, and I do manage all the communities, all the guilds, all the cults of developers around the Tezos blockchain in our India region. Over to you, Ash.
So this podcast is mainly focused towards Ricky. So we are gonna hop into talk a lot of things with Ricky. So Ricky, how did you get started with development and
Right. So I think the main reason why I'm doing like this web development is because when I was in Nottingham and I just bumped into React, and I was so impressed by the methodology of those. Like you can modularize the user interface and you can build different components for it, and it's kind of like brand like such a big surprise for me. So it's out of curiosity, myself doing this. So the funny thing is the job I'm doing right now is I self learning this. So, but I mean, after working sometimes there's no education. You need to educate yourself. So I think that you can go for long run.
So, so what were the unique challenges of developing the website of blockchain related, like
Yeah.
the Tezos and the Etherlink, and how it got to be the different from the traditional web development. So that is quite necessary to got to know because you have been working with Trilitech, that has been amazing company, and that's a great product based company. So we would love to share. Please,
Yeah.
over to you. Please.
Yeah, so the biggest difference between Web 2 and Web 3 website, I think, from my experience, is like you need to connect wallet, and the wallet connection is the huge part because you need a wallet, a place to to interact with blockchain, basically. So the wallet connection, this part I think is kind of the huge difference, obviously, and also I'm observing that for most of the Web3 website, the user interface are more charming or more modern looks like, but that means that you need to have like to reflect it or like tweak the user interface or rebrand it, like renew it in a very short time of range. So the first one challenging is like connect the wallet connection. This was one my side project in Tree Tech is stakediesel.com. So so the front end, like mostly we use Next.js as a framework for React, and after React 18, they have the app router, the app component. I mean, so it's
Uh,
kind of hard because before that, almost like all of the stuff are on the like client side, but they introduced one thing in server side, so it's really complicated, and it just it's like sometimes you need it's hard to debug or nightmare, and especially to connect to beacon Beacon Wallet. So Beacon Wallet, you need to tweak some bit because it's natively support for from inside rendering, but you need you need to spend more time to integrate it with server side, and that's one challenge I face. And the other one is there's a lot of requests coming in every day or every few days, and you need to keep up of space to prioritize your task. That's one important part, and
Exactly.
yeah, get to know how you need to sometimes reject people said, "Oh, I have more important things to do." I think that's one of the things I learned through this journey. Yeah,
Yes, yes, they are you always learning from the working on the projects and the real
yeah,
time project that we are currently using, right? So
yeah,
that is the important aspect. Yeah,
yeah.
please continue.
And yeah, and I think because as a front engineer, the most important part is to understand the foundation of how HTML and CSS work, because you don't have
Ah,
time to debug everything.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes yeah, it's sometimes it's interesting, but sometimes it just give me headache. Yeah,
you won't believe, Nikki, I started learning with my part. I'll be explaining you my part. I'll be narrating my story. That I started with the HTML CSS part back in my school as well. But at that moment, it was not important to me because I was not in the computer science degree, right? And then the time I stepped into a computer science degree, and it was a subject for me. Obviously, everyone knows. And the time I started with HTML, I was like, boom, I know everything. I'm everything. And the time I stepped in the CSS, the time I got to know the padding and the margins,
yeah,
my brain just got flexed.
yeah.
My brain got flexed.
Yeah, so there's one interesting fact. So when I'm like walking around on the street and maybe I see a logo or like a poster, and I start thinking, how do I do it on CSS, like layouts, like using position, flexbox, box, or like absolute. I mean, yeah, it's just random topic.
As a developer being, I can totally relate you.
Mm,
If you ever telling me that, hey, open up this website and people are enjoying over that website and people are interacting over the UI US interface of that. But in the back end, in the background, I got so feared that how would the developer had developed this website or the web application.
yeah,
If I ever asked me to do so, I would have been died. Like my struggle part has been created. So that has been from my end, and we loved how you got started with the blockchain part, the web development part, and and we are also happy from the India region as well that the people are from the abroad got also population in the HTML CSS part. We are not only the one, so
right.
that is pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. As well as
Yep.
I would love to know how does the Web3 technology, if you say now, how does the Web3 technology, the their UI UX interfaces, got a comparison with the Web2?
Mm-hmm.
Like streamlining your concept, like the UI UX from the Web3 perspective and the UI UX from the Web2 perspective.
Uh-huh.
How are they getting differentiated? What are the things you felt in the Web3 industry and not in the Web2 industry? Perspective of UI UX, especially.
Right. So for UI UX, so as I say earlier before, so the Web3 is the blockchain. How you interact with blockchain is you need to have wallet, you need to have something in it, like some token, crypto, so you can interact with it. Like yeah, obviously. So I think the UI UX, the main difference is the wallet connection. Yeah, I said earlier, but like some of them, they have like embed like wallet connection, or maybe you use like browser extension, or even you use your ledgers. So from my experience, like from my opinions, there are a lot of options for the user. And if the user are new to this space, I think it's quite intimidating people. like for me. So really, so before joining
I,
Tech,
I
yeah, I didn't pay much attention to like blockchain and Web3. Is after like I joined Trilitech, and then okay, let's learn something about blockchain. Then so how it basically works, and then what's fun there? What's how can I do something there? Or what can I?
uh,
It's like that. So I think um, so the differences, the biggest differences is you need to make users know. Um, some website they force you to connect wallet, but I don't think it's like a best practice if you have something to do on the website. But for staking Tezos.com, it's because you particularly you just do one job, you delegate, you select a picker, you bake your test, so you obviously have to connect to wallet. So yeah, I think this is the biggest part there.
Absolutely, absolutely. The time we step into the Web3, the crypto part, everyone needs wallet. Without wallet, we usually do not talk.
Yeah,
Like, hey, what's your crypto? Hey, what's your native? And we talk about, hey, it's our Tezos, this is our Ethereum, this is our Polygon, whatever that people are using for the transaction. But we are from Tezos India, we use Tezos, obviously. So that is a specific thing. And anything specific you found in the project of our Tezos, the project of our Etherlink, which has been a layer 2 solution for our Tezos. So any example you would love to emit over here in this podcast that hey, this is the UI I got into the Etherlink because you have been a great web designer and as well as web developer. So we would love to know your perspective, right?
right, right. So just to be clarified, this on like design and developer are like separate. So I don't design, but I love our design. Our design team are awesome. So I think I can take so recently Tezos website we keep continuously to making a better website for people can navigate. So there's like more gaming portal, developer portal, etc. So I can take developer portal as example. So I think it depends on different page purpose. So for developer portals, obviously is for developers, and but we don't want to put a lot of information when people navigate on the
Hmm,
page. So we are like what we did is like there's a hero section like on the top, and there
exactly.
like the headline and like okay if you're interested in this button below it there's a button like redirect you to the docs like Tezos doc website and you found if you want
Hmm.
to learn more so you scroll down so I think this user journey is like when you scroll down you go deeper to the topic and at the bottom there's a like individual tutorial section and with different tags like latest or newest or like different topic tag on like inside the tutorial card. Like maybe this is for NFT or maybe this is for smart contract, something like that.
Hmm.
So I will
Obviously.
say this is like the structure or like wireframe for developer portal particularly.
Exactly, exactly. Uh, like we have been to the Tezos.com website, Etherlink.com website, and that has been purely amazing. Obviously, and to our viewers who doesn't know that who had made that website, who had been working on that website. So here's a guy standing in front of you,
Thank
Ricky, and who has been maintaining, developing on this current website, Tezos.com. You can check out through the link, Tezos.com, Etherlink.com, and go to the website and you can check out the work of this man, his creative ideas. And I took the permission from Ricky to Dockerize our latest Etherlink website application. I hope it was working fine because it was production ready. I attach every case environment very well over there. So that was pretty well. That was pretty well. And like if you say now the UI UX part, it has been a lot of difference into that. They have a lot of perspective while building the thing because in region to region, people understand both are the same thing. UI and UX are the same thing, but that is not. And that those things are not obviously combined with the web development if we are learning so, because that has been a totally different aspect. How a user is interacting, how they are touching the things or a molecule or an article over the website, that is important aspect which is covered in the UI UX part. So I believe that has been already covered by the Ricky about the same. So Ricky, like if I ask you more into technical part, or like if you say that communication over the website, like the question precisely says that how do you ensure that these websites effectively communicate with their prospective core values? If you say now, like every website has their core values, how to demonstrate this thing. If there's a download page, how they are downloading the things. There's something to make the NFT. So those websites are applicable for those websites. Those applications are built for the NFT part as well. So do you have any sort of view over that? How the core principle work for the software development part, and how one can learn about it? Because we as a beginner would love to learn about it.
So I think, yeah, again, it depends on different type of page you're building. So I just, for example, there's a developer portal. I can just say another one is like maybe gaming portal, and gaming portal, like there are two kind of people like using game, players and developers. Yeah, right. So on the top, we just have these two sections. So it will easier for user or for user using navigating to the gaming portal. So which one am I? And I click this. If I'm like player, I click this. And if I player, what I'm most curious about is what games are on Tezos blockchains, and like the show introduction of different games. So yeah, and for if you click to the developers, they will just there's a like some introduction, some how can you build it like with Unity's SDK, and I think there's one more like I think it's kind of important thing to consider to build up like this kind of website, because oftenly when you go deeper, you will lose somewhere. Like, what is the level of this page right now? And how to visually solve this issue is you can have a breadcrumb like in somewhere. So breadcrumb is like homepage, and there's a arrow icon, and then it's like just show you visually which level you are in, and then you can kind of understand, okay, why am I? Because sometimes when I just browse on the internet, I just lose somewhere deeply. So yeah, breadcrumb is.
Exactly, exactly. We have been a website structures, and we have been learning, and it totally becomes how important it is for like developing these and understand all these aspects. And in the previous question, the time we were talking about like UI part and that's their search content, you also mentioned about the hero section, right? So to our viewers who are learning into web development and diving much into it, so hero section is a peculiar type of section which is covered for the title part. So please make a note of it so that people do not understand we are talking about any hero in this podcast.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So that was the thing I wanted to cover. And Harsh, would love to know if you got any question because you have been the host and we'd love to learn from you, know from you.
So just wanted to know that how did you ensure that these websites effectively communicate their respective projects, core values, and technologies to both Web3 enthusiasts and newcomers? Like you have to handle that. Okay, this user who's coming up there could be a Web3 user or could be a Web2 user. If he ain't a Web3 user, like how to make him interact with that UI, because few things might be different. For example, if we are logging in via a wallet or something.
Answer this question. So, like, what kind of factor you will stay on the website? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of broke, but I think the cool animation or like video or like uh I don't know. It's really personal. Like because if a user want to stay, I think he will stay. If he interested, he will just interested. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. But to ensure to make people stay longer is you need to have a consistent web like user interface. For example, you cannot have a like a really bright color like text there and really dark here. It just damages my eyes. So I would say just have a synchronized user interface, and you want to align your section on the center, or you need to have the same padding margin across the side, so you just feel, oh, it's smooth. I'm like reading a book, not like I need to jump around the web page. So I think, yeah, really. So I hate that there's some website they just so old. I don't think they even updated. So maybe some government website especially, and then it just so terrible, so horrible. Nightmare. I need to maybe register a system. It just take me forever to go through the process. But yeah, I mean, to make the user feel comfortable to stay in your website, I think that's a good point to make sure you can attract people, but it's still their decisions. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask one thing that, like, I don't know why when you said div, that come into my mind. Like, okay, there's a very famous meme going out there, like how to center the div.
Uh,
So how does Ricky centers his div? Like, what's your way to center
Exactly.
your div?
Yeah, so I have like mostly I use Flexbox. So Flexbox there's a justify content like items, so you can just put it center. And the other another one, the second one is grid. So grid you can just like have different column rows. You can put whatever you want on whatever you want. And the third one I think is like brute force for me, like CSS brute force. It's just like yeah, so you put position absolute, but you need to have your parent div position relative, and then you like maybe left 50%, and also you need to translate x like minus something. I mean, you can just chat GPT that; they will give you that answer. But yeah, this three mostly I self-centered by this three method. If other than that, I can't help you. Yeah.
Man, that has been a so true thing. Like full 100% relatable content. The brute force. I'll be like, what the
The
hell?
brute
Why it's
force.
not getting centered?
Yeah, that's
I,
the
I,
more.
I have a like a previous story with that. In back in 2020, I was learning the CSS part, and I was thinking it's just very easy because in the beginning everyone thinks like it should be done in couple of weeks and I'll be done. The time I chatted with the div part, I got in nothing. I got
Yeah,
nothing, and I tried centering the div. I,
yeah,
I I was like, why?
yeah,
Why do we need to do a lot of things?
yeah. But
How
yeah,
people are doing it?
yeah, I know. But yeah, I think it's like one of the tips for like people want to do this kind of job. You need to learn how to center the really. It's important. This one.
Or use or
Or,
kindly
or
learn currently Flexbox.
Yeah.
or should I say like how learn how to center div in multiple ways?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not particularly like sensitive. I think it's just funny topic, but I mean, like different because, like said, if you don't know how to do it and you always use like absolute, it will cause a lot of issue because you have different things like on your page and they just crash when you like maybe like your
Please, please don't give me the pain.
so
Please
yeah,
don't give me the pain again.
yeah. So yeah.
On the keynote of those CSS things, I have been shifted to the DevOps part, Dockerizing the thing, and today I'm facing my Dockerization failed. So like, why so much of error in my life?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think CSS really related to computer science when I was doing master degree, because I'm learning like algorithm or like database or like internet, but CSS just it's weird.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah, it's a tech to understand how the things are being done. It's not should not be like the theory part and the computer science thing, which it core a part of it. No, something like that. Right. It's totally a development part which everyone can learn in the world using the internet. And it should be accessible to everyone. Education is free, so called. Ricky got my point.
yeah.
Um, Harsh, uh, uh, over to you as well.
Security is a major concern, as you know. And in the Web3 space, like security is the biggest concern ever. Everything is decentralized up there, but still there are few things which are going on, like okay, the wallets got hacked or something else. Like I don't want to go into that part, but how do you address those security concerns when you design the websites in the front end?
Okay. So, if I need to, I will address your the question about the wallet got like inserted. I think you need to have double check every, like, when you sign a contract with your wallet, always check if the domain is right one. I think this is because I was got like I went to the wrong domain website. It just they have extra s in the end, and it's like expired. So my few a few my like USDT was gone. But yeah, always need to domain like okay, and then yeah, and then wait,
Uh,
I suddenly forgot what's the oh yeah. So for example, yeah. So for security, I would take Tezos.com and Intel.com for example. So how to not hackers to hack into the websites. You don't need to a server because the website just like static. So we just bunch of like HTML, CSS, style, JavaScript like to interact with the web page. So the the method we use is like there's in Next.js, there's one option in configuration you can export static. So what we mean is it is a static site generation, so there's no server involved, and then you can make sure because there's no server, so people can just like play around with the web page. So I think it can minimize the security into to the minimum.
Security concern has been a very important aspect in our tech as well because only tech as well because from my perspective we're DevOps and we got a lot of instructions from the head that hey these are the environment, these are the keys, these are the Kubernetes precious keys to be managed and they should not be leaked over the website. Ricky has been a development and the software development. So he can also integrate and understand like how these should not be into the metadata of those uh, search engine. And we have not to exploit those keys because exploiting those keys can give an access to our servers as well. So be very, very sure while handling those keys and the security part. So that is very important. And Ricky, this podcast has been being recorded and we've been built for those students who are getting started into the web development, the software development, because it's quite complex because there are a lot of technologies. And what are the things? What are the advices you would you would love to give to them, those students who are getting started into the web development, right? Very
Right.
simple advices.
Okay. So I can come up with like few. So I think a really important part is you need to like be curious about the technology if you are not interested, and especially for front end it kind of like fast pace. It's ever growing fast. Like it's just growing so fast. And then there's like so for React, for example, they just want to like release a new feature. So yeah, for example, the app router thing and the server component. I mean, especially, and then there are more release in the future. So I think the important part you need to you actually like it, like doing it. not most of part, like not every part, like oh the part, most of part you love doing it. Like I don't like some part of it, but most of the time I kind of enjoy it because I can feel like I'm really building something. So for example, I made this work, and on the front end on the web page I feel satisfied. I made this like position
Mm,
I wanted.
position. Exactly.
Yeah. And so if you are interested in this, and the second one is I think for debugging, I always using like Boulder for debugging and also the inspect. So the Boulder will show like what's going on with your component. And then yeah, and as for there's really some good resource to learn about is Camp. I think everyone knows it, and
Everyone knows that. Yeah,
yeah, everyone knows it. And W3 School is like obviously, and I think those are really good resources. And if you
exactly.
take time to read through it, not like to read it like for 3 or 4 hours. I think for me, like personal experience, like I like maybe learn some new thing, maybe 1 hour or even 15 minutes, like using Duolingo. So we just keep you maybe update, or oh you have you notice there's something new out there, even though you haven't touched it or you haven't used it, but you have the concept about oh this new thing, and I think they will help your um, in the how you can work in the industry to learn new thing every day.
Exactly. Exactly, because most of us has been into those aspects like how do we get the material, how do we get started, and you have curated the answers very, very playfully. And most of us also into the fact that hey, we need to purchase the course first, which costs us around every time $50, $100. If you say that $5,000, like 5,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees in the Indian rupees, and at the end they learn nothing. I believe most of the things are available on the internet. Just search out.
Yeah,
We have the AI today. Talk with them. Hey, I'm getting this error, and what could be the solution for it? And why is the only solution we are getting this? So we get interview ready and build using the internet. Use the internet properly. So that is the most crucial aspect which I always make the people understand. And be active on Twitter socials so that you can connect with the people who are like-minded you. Like we all are together on the same stage. So we are learning from each other, right? So
yeah.
this was the part of the community.
And one thing,
Ricky,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you
you
need
may continue.
the
You may
right
continue. Yeah.
connection, so you need to tune on the Tauqeer like podcast, like yeah, frequently to have the connection.
Obviously, obviously.
Yeah.
Like exactly that happens so far. That happens so far. Ricky, people would be looking at this podcast and would be loving to connect with you. So, what is the best way of connecting with you? Yeah, connecting with you and learn from you.
Right. So yeah, I don't use Twitter often. Yeah, maybe that's weird, but I just feel like there's so many social media. Just overwhelming. But you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and even Discord. But I mean I LinkedIn maybe is proper. So but I
Perfect.
mean yeah, Discord and LinkedIn. Yeah, you can share
Yeah,
my
sure, sure. That would be shared.
Because Ricky is a fabulous guy because he stays out of controversies. You mean Twitter?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
um, but I would love to be on Twitter. Being at a devil, I need to be on Twitter. I need to the Web3 space.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
That's all.
and the developer needs to be on the GitHub, not on the Twitter.
yeah,
I'm also on GitHub. I'm also on GitHub.
yeah, GitHub, yeah, GitHub. Yeah,
There's a proof of work from the Ricky itself. Like I have like created a pull request on the Etherlinks GitHub for the Dockerization part. You can check out the thing, and everything is available online and open source, so there's nothing to hide. Right, Ricky?
yeah, yeah, but yeah, sorry, I just have this haven't have the time to check out, but yeah, yeah, yeah. And just like Tezos X, there's just so many requests. So yeah, but the Taki works really awesome. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. And Harsh, would you love to with the activity part?
Yeah. Here comes the most interesting part of this podcast. Like it has never been done before, which I have thought somehow. I don't know how. So we are having an activity session. So I will show you a random website which will be related to Web3. We just want to see like how you analyze the websites in your mind. Like, okay, if I have to recreate this, how I will recreate this. Not to the much logic of the backend and other things like how will you fetch the data or something. Just overview of the front end only.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Cool.
So this is the website of Alchemy.
Hmm.
As you can see, this is the navbar, and after clicking on it, after hovering on it, it's showing an animation like this.
Yeah. Can you click to the navigation like carousel button? There's a one carousel in the middle. Sorry.
Which one?
Yeah. No. No. There's one carousel. Like there's a navigation
Okay,
button.
sir.
Oh, the
Then
carousels.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
scroll down, scroll down,
Yeah.
scroll down a little bit. Yeah, here you go.
The other one. Yeah. This one. This one. This one. Yeah. Can
Okay, here you go.
yeah? Can you click it? So yeah, I mean, this is pretty standard. Like you have to make people know this next slide. So usually they will have like 50 or 30% the next slide showing on, and then people will know this next slide, something like that. So yeah, Alchemy is pretty good.
So, like, do you fetch all of the data within that, or do you wait? Like, okay, if the user will go to this carousel or this previous part, then I will fetch that data, or like something like that,
Do
or do
you
you
mean?
fetch it already?
Mm-hmm. It depends on how they build it. So maybe they hard code it, or maybe they have content management system, but I don't know. Yeah.
But what about this animation, like this one, this logos going? So,
Yeah, yeah. So the two ways. So the one way you can build it by yourself, or the other way you use library. But there's just amazing library out there. There's one called React Swiper, so you can have the animation and something like that really easily. And I think there's a jump bit. It's not really smooth. When they go into the last one, they would like jump like Swift, like they lay out Swift. So maybe there's one thing can be improved. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Um,
You curious about how I feel this website?
yep, that's
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
thing.
So yeah. So I think the first thing I would check is if I scroll down, like change the viewport, is it like going to be like some section being cropped off, but they're not. So it's pretty good. And then when you hit refresh, sometime you will see maybe a logo or some item. They will have layout shift. So I think it's called layout shift. So yeah, this one cumulative layout shift. So there's no any layout shift, and then so yeah, when you enter this, they have like some animation to draw people attention, and then see. So when it hits to the last one, this one gray out. This is good. Yeah, we have it in DeFi portal Tezos.com recently.
I guess so.
Yeah, DeFi. So this one is DeFi. So see, so we have also this is gray out, but when you there's one more button, and also if you like change the will say. And then for different viewport, you have different navigation types. So I think because a lot of people using mobile, so you need to consider how mobile feel likes and how on the desktop. And
Exactly.
and they see how the so for developer they have this tag. So tag is good. Tags can help user to navigate faster. So but I mean that's why I can think about this website for this few minutes within the few minutes.
Actually, Ricky, indirectly flex his work from Tezos.com/nearby.
Because we
Did
are
you? Are,
yeah
are you the one who made that way? Please say
yeah.
yes.
You mean the carousel?
Yeah, exactly. Carousel.
I am.
I knew.
I
I
just
knew.
want to relate like Tezos is awesome as well, Yeah.
Exactly. Tezos
Okay.
is I have a very basic question about the Tezos itself. Where are we putting our website repo? Like GitLab or GitHub?
It's GitHub, but we deploy AWS S3 bucket, and those are handled by under Tezos Foundation. So they have really strict policy about this, like the well list, and because it's the face of Tezos. So yeah, we have GitHub and AWS.
Exactly. That is
So let's hop into the last round, the most fabulous one. Don't ask me why I've named this, but I have named it cheesy choosy. So you have to choose between two different things, the options which I will give you. The first two options are Next.js or Vue.js.
Next.js or Vue.js. So I'm been using Vue like just for a few months for my last role. So as I can remember, so for me because I'm using Next.js every day, and so I would choose Next.js. But I can feel Vue.js they have some strengths. It's since last year I haven't been using it, but for example in Next.js like React there's a like use memo, use callback is kind of annoying. But in Vue.js, I remember there's another way to handle this. And sorry for that. I haven't used it for a long time. But yeah, I would choose Next.js like in show. Sorry.
exactly.
TypeScript or JavaScript. Just wanted to know that does front-end developers also prefer TypeScript?
Yeah, TypeScript. I mean, mostly TypeScript. I mean, always TypeScript, but sometimes you just get annoyed by when you have a library and maybe they don't support JavaScript. That's a nightmare, but maybe you just don't use it. Or other than that, I think TypeScript is good improvements because they just compile to JavaScript like under the hood, but
Yeah.
you have types like save type. Yeah.
The time you
Yeah.
talked about a library which is not supported with JavaScript, I guess it might be Taquito.
Yeah.
So plain CSS or Tailwind CSS if we have to use it in the production, taking care of everything.
So I'm using both of them. So for Tailwind CSS is it's fast. If you know the syntax, really fast because you don't need you can just if you're really fluent with like CSS, it will be like really good. If you get it to like sometime, it's really good. And also, there's one important thing is Tailwind. Tailwind CSS can support server components, but a lot of other UI library, for example, Chakra UI. So it's CSS ingest. So basically, you download the CSS on the front server, so they can't support CSS in JS, like this kind of library for server components. So that's the issue. So it's just between your team preference or your preference. So there's no wrong and right answer. Yeah. So there's one project in Trilitech, and we will introduce like a new like you can basically using JavaScript to write smart contracts. So I think that's part of Tezos X. So there's one like Tezos X vision. So it's how Tezos want to build next few years, and one of them is to gain more adoption is this support more language. For example, JavaScript is most popular or most people use it. So yeah.
Exactly. Uh, Veg biryani or chicken biryani?
Oh, I mean, I always choose chicken biryani.
There is nothing
Absolutely,
like veg
yes.
biryani.
I always have chicken biryani with mango lassi. Yeah, so good. Lassi,
That that,
good,
that
really good.
and we have already promised this was being recorded that you are coming to India and we
I
would
will,
have biryani
yeah,
together.
I will go next year. Really, I will go next year.
Finger crossed.
Yeah, yeah.
Ricky is having more Indian food than Tauqeer is having in his hostel right now. Ricky, like when was the time that came like when you think that okay now I have become fluent in development? Like there comes a part like we are just replicating it other one's code and learning it one by one. When did that time came for you? Like okay, when you totally started understanding development, like you became fluent into it.
I think that's the time. Because previously Tezos.com were built by other. I don't know how can I share this, but I mean, after sometimes I build tons of page. I think that's one high time. I feel like okay, I'm comfortable with this technology because I'm using it every day. It's like doing exercise, like you swimming, you play cricket, you get used to it, you become better with it. It just we're all humans, so it's just like maybe muscle memory. You can just like type it like without any hesitation. I think that's the point. I feel like okay, I kind of comfortable with this technology and what is next for me, and so that's really lucky I have this side project like it's related to Web3 like stake. So I learned how like working like you need to delegate stake and those stuff and then wallet connection and then I don't know, I think that's important part. You always need to rethink what you want to get next because that's important part. Like the thought will like attract you to the path. So yeah.
Exactly. Totally relatable to your point. How you get shorted and how you realize the things. That
Yeah.
is absolutely a point of.
Actually, I had a last question. So, as a developer, like everyone starts to like at a time. So, what was your biggest break? Was it Tezos itself? Was it Etherlink? Was it what was it? What was your biggest break ever?
Yeah. So my story is like I was working here, and why I got into it is because I applied a lot of jobs, and then Trilitech saw me, and then I have interview. It's not like a like amazing story. It's just I do the same thing every day for a long time, and then there's one chance, there's one opportunity, and I practice this, so I do well like on interview. So I think that's it. There's no shortcuts
Exactly.
for myself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. I totally
I'm not
relatable. There is no shortcuts.
Yeah, I'm not super smart, so I just like use it every day. So yeah, yeah,
And
Those who use the brute force method are really super smart, Ricky. Don't ever underestimate yourself, man.
yeah. And yeah, no, no, I don't know. Just like doing thing you like. I think, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Thanks for inviting me. This is a good like fun talks. It's like talking with friends. Is yeah, is comfortable with you guys. So thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed with Ricky and really enjoyed with Tauqeer. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and you get as many opportunities as you work. So thank you, Ricky, for joining us.
Thank you guys. Yeah, you too have nice evening.